Ace Attorney is one of Capcom's flagship series, and the clear flagship series of my YouTube channel. However, some things about it are still unknown, even to me. In this video, I'll be talking about 7 things you probably didn't know about Ace Attorney. I hope you learn at least a couple of things from this. This one comes straight from the Ace Attorney subreddit. At the start of Justice for All Case 4, Pearl says this. But in the original Japanese version, she says something slightly different. No, every Sunday, I only watch World Children's Masterpiece Theater. World Masterpiece Theater was a long-running children's anime that originally ran from 1969 to 1997, and again from 2007 to 2009. But of course, since Ace Attorney takes place in Japanifornia and not in Japan like that terrible series Gyakuten-Saiban, the reference was covered up. Funnily enough, the translation makes it seem like Phoenix himself watches a children's educational program, while the original line makes much more sense as the anime would have been also running when Phoenix was a kid. A lot of players know that the second case of the first game was originally going to be the first case, but less know that Phoenix Wright was supposed to be a private eye originally. The original opening of the game was going to show Phoenix finding the body of his client, a lawyer, before being arrested on the spot, which is a little similar to what actually transpires in the first game. After being assigned a terrible lawyer, Phoenix decides to take up his own defense. It was around this point that Takumi realized that the game he truly envisioned was having the player find contradictions and take them apart, so he shifted the focus of the game to the courtroom, and the rest is history. During the development of Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, Capcom made several requests of Shu Takumi, most famously forcing him to include Phoenix Wright in the game. A lesser-known fact, though, is what brought about the Mason system seen in the final chapter of the game. In 1999, Japan proposed many ideas to improve their legal system, one of which was the lay judge system. Lay judges look over evidence presented during trials to come to a determination, quite similar to the Mason system. During the development, it became clear that the recommendation for such a lay judge system would be adopted. Capcom executives told Takumi to include it in the game, leading to the Mason system. Capcom even presented the game to the Japanese government. Something I hadn't thought of before delving into Janet Sue's fantastic blogs was how a certain world event that really kicked off in March 2020 that YouTube's automated system would probably demonetize me for would affect the localization of the Great Ace Attorney. When Sue was planning out the localization effort, she knew she wanted to use a UK studio, as the United Kingdom is integral to the game's setting. Before she could pick a specific studio, said world event happened, and the existence of such an English dub was no longer guaranteed. However, Capcom decided to go aside UK, a company which has worked on a ton of big games, many of which you've likely played. Of course, in peak 2020 fashion, the difficulties didn't end there. Sue and her team had to attend the recording sessions remotely from Japan, meaning they'd start the sessions in the evening and end them very early in the morning. Thankfully, Capcom prevailed and delivered a quality English dub. Okay, so I know what I'm about to say technically isn't Phoenix Wright's first appearance in 3D. We have both Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Layton vs. Wright before this, but during the development of Dual Destinies, Capcom obviously needed to prototype 3D models, and their Phoenix Wright came out looking like this. Nice! Another little tidbit I caught while researching this is the reason for Athena's crazy and incredibly anime-esque hairstyle. Art director Takado Fuse stated, "When she's playing the role of assistant in court, I knew that Athena would be standing to Phoenix or Apollo's left. Taking that into consideration, I felt that this hairstyle was the best suited, not just because it looked good from the player character's viewpoint, but because it's great at conveying Athena's enthusiasm and energy when it moves." The victim of the final case in Justice for All is Juan Corada. Corada is a term for bullfighting in Spanish, obviously pronounced properly in Spanish, unlike what I just did, but in the Spanish version of Justice for All, Corada's surname is changed to Rivera. Why? Well, because Corada is also slang for something else in Spanish. Thankfully, his name in the Spanish version still maintains the meaning of bullfighting, as he is named after the famous bullfighter Francisco Rivera Ordonez. And finally, Turnabout Sisters is the second case in Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In it, there are several references to the Watergate scandal. Firstly, the name of the hotel that appears in the episode is Gatewater. Gatewater? Watergate. Obvious. April May wiretapped Mia, Richard Nixon's campaign wiretapped the DNC. Even better, if Wright examines the window at Blue Corp, he remarks that it's very presidential. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I've got a bigger video planned that'll hopefully run a lot longer than this one. Thank you.